Hey everyone, welcome to 99.6 The Howl for the uninitiated. This is an unedited YouTube vlog discussing everything Arizona Coyotes. It's a rough run, it's been a rough week. Let's get into it. Played great against the Panthers, thought the Coyotes, turn a corner, get going here, score some goals, and then they go on a drought in back-to-back games against Tampa and Carolina. And then a very frustrating game against the Penguins that just capped off a week that the Coyotes fans did not like. And I'm sure the Coyotes players didn't like as well. I mean, a lot of things to critique. The power play, horrible. I mean, oh man, watching that Carolina game, the power play was just making me so upset. Wasting so much time trying to get the puck into the zone. And then once the puck's in the zone, just pushing it along the boards and nothing going into the middle. And that was also the case against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Just feel like there's a lot of perimeter work on the power play, nothing getting to the goalie, no really grade A chances. And then on the other hand, you have the Pittsburgh Penguins who score 2 goals in the power play just like that, like clockwork. I mean, it's frustrating how apparently the Coyotes have like the 13th best power play in the league, but it lets them down a lot. When they need a power play goal, it's so hard to come by, and they could have used a few against Carolina and against Pittsburgh. They scored against Pittsburgh. They scored 3 goals. Still feel like those goals really weren't generated off high octane offense or playing to their offensive game. I feel like they're pretty much flukes. Both Stepan and Garland's goal, they're both out in front of the net, uncontested, and just had to put it by the goalie. I feel like on every night that's not going to happen. You have to work harder for your goals. And then Taylor Hall's goal was a fluky shot that caught the goalie sleeping. So, I mean, I didn't see the offense come through considering they got shut out in back-to-back games. So, still frustrating to see that their offense isn't clicking yet. They rarely had any offensive zone time against Pittsburgh. I feel like Pittsburgh came hard against the Coyotes, just making the Coyotes defend way too much, and then the Coyotes really didn't have the energy to get their offense going. But they made it to a shootout. They got a point, so there's some glimmer of hope. They're tied for first in the Pacific in points against the Calgary Flames. The Flames have 1 game in hand, so they'll take the lead. But it's a dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight for the next 2 months. 2 points separate first place and 5th. I haven't seen this in years, where one night you could go from first place to 5th place in your division. I mean, it's going to be war. And it starts this week. It starts Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I mean, the Coyotes have 3 games in a row against Pacific teams. The first one, a bit of an easier one against the San Jose Sharks, but then they have Vancouver and Edmonton on the road. Huge games, huge playoff games. They have to get their act together. They have to figure out what's going on. I'm so surprised Tocchet hasn't juggled the lines in these past 3 games, except for just scratching Grabner and Fisher, rotating them in. But usually after a large loss or like a game and a half of bad play, Tocchet would juggle the lines, blend them up, find another working pair or trio, but he stayed status quo. It kind of worked out in the Pittsburgh game, but still, man, I feel like I could see next game Tocchet trying to juggle the lines, maybe keep the first line intact with Hall, Garland, and Dvorak. I love that line. That line seems to have chemistry, and they're consistent. Garland and Hall have great chemistry. But I feel like Soderberg, Keller, and Schmaltz been a bit quiet the past 3 games. Kessel's been quiet. Everyone's pretty much been quiet. I like the 4th line. The 4th line was good against Carolina and Pittsburgh. But the 2nd and 3rd line, they got to get it going. You have to have Keller and Schmaltz having an impact on the game. I mean, if Keller and Schmaltz don't have impacts on the game, what are they doing out there? They're not hitters. I mean, they're purely offensive guys. And, maybe Soderberg gets put on the 3rd line, maybe inject Stepan into the 2nd line center, or put Schmaltz center and bring Hinostroza up to have like Schmaltz, Keller, Hinostroza. That's a bit too top end heavy, but try to see what works. Grabner played one game against Carolina. I saw he made a mistake on that first Hurricanes goal, and I guess that's why he got scratched against Pittsburgh. Fisher needs to be there for the physicality. We'll see what happens. Nicholas Hjalmarsson's back in the lineup. Great to have a shot blocker. Great to have someone you could depend on the penalty kill. And to really shore up that defense on the bottom pairing. No more Osterley and Lyubushkin. And hopefully Hjalmarsson gets his speed up. And he had an assist on that leading goal, on Stepan's goal, to make it 3-2. Great to see him get a point. He rarely gets points. That's good to see. So, everyone's healthy except the goalies. And you have Aiden Hillinet, who did an excellent job in Pittsburgh. Excellent job in relief of Ranta against Carolina. But once again, Antti Ranta's injured day to day. I mean, enough is enough. It's so frustrating as a fan, and that's why this week's been so frustrating. No goal scoring, two back-to-back losses, and a third straight loss in shootout. And then you have Antti Ranta injured again. And Kemper's not ready before the All-Star break. So these next 3 games, it's going to be Aiden Hill, and hopefully Ranta's healthy enough to withstand a full game or two. Because if he's not, we got to rely on Hill. Hill's been, he was great against Florida, okay against Tampa. They didn't really lose because of Hill against Tampa. He was also okay against Pittsburgh. I mean, maybe a goal or two he could have had, but he did excellent in the shootout. He kept the Coyotes in the game against Pittsburgh. He got them a point. So he's got to keep it rolling. He's got to steal a win. If he's playing all 3 games this week, he's got to steal a win for the boys. Just try to break that NHL seal that he's been trying for years now. I think this is his last chance. When Kemper comes back healthy, it's Kemper's net for like the last 25, 28 games, because he did it last year. Kemper played 26 games in a row, and that's exactly what's going to happen when he comes back after the All-Star break. So Hill's got to make a stamp this week. He's got to come up huge. He's got a pretty easy one against San Jose, and then get into that playoff mentality for Vancouver and Edmonton. And the whole team needs to just get their offensive act together and get going, shoot more pucks, just cycle more on the D, and just get it going here. It's frustrating to watch, but they're still in it. I know it's going to be a dogfight. You got to hang in there, and it's going to be exciting. And we get a break next week, so should be okay. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your support.